We must learn from the people that came before us to avoid making the mistakes that they made. Guys, I think it's incredibly important if you want to go very far in life to study the people that came before you, right? Not to be ignorant, not to say, oh, I don't need to know what they did, right? I'm going to forge my own path. No, because I heard recently someone say this and it really struck me deeply to my core. They said, it's not the what that you're copying from these other people. It's the how. It's the path that they took to get success in their chosen domain, right? Whether they're a musician, a basketball player, an entrepreneur. It doesn't matter what you do, what you become great at. It's the how, right? Because there is a process for how all of these successful people get to the end destination. And once you start reading all of these people and the steps that they took, you start drawing similar conclusions from each of them. Wow, the path that he took looks like the path that he took as well. And you start to think to yourself, how can I replicate that path? Not the what, not what they did, but how they did it into the field that I want to be great at. And once you start to think that way, answers will come to you. Ask and you shall receive, my friend. You ask the right questions, you get the right answers. These are phrases that are ingrained in my head. So whenever I find myself frustrated, I ask myself, what new questions do I need to ask myself right now? Not, why can't I do this? Or why isn't this working? But how can I make this work? What would Steve Jobs have done? What would Benjamin Franklin have done? What would Da Vinci have done? What would Elon Musk have done? Right? And you start going back and thinking about all these guys. What would Warren Buffett have done? What would Charlie Munger have done? And then you can very quickly solve the answer to your problem because you remember, oh, that's what he did. Let me do the same thing in my domain, right? It's not copy and paste. It's learn from the lessons, implement in your life. And it works. And it works. Because from all of the guys who I've studied who are successful, there's one thing that I see in common with them. They studied the people that came before them. Every single one of the people that I've read about, and I've read over 100 books this year. I think over 120 books now this year. And literally every single book that I've read by someone who's successful will recommend books from people that came before them. They'll talk about their heroes and how their heroes influenced them to be successful in their domain, right? You don't copy your heroes, guys. I think that's a big mistake that a lot of people make. They want to be copycats. They're like, oh, he did it this exact way, so I'm just going to copy him and I'm going to get the same results. But it doesn't work like that, my friend. For the first reason why it doesn't work is because if you are the copycat of the guy who came before you, you will always be in second place. Always. You will be known as the copycat. You might achieve some level of success, but you will be second place. I guarantee you that. You will never surpass the guy that you're copying. Right? And then the second reason is, if you copy someone, you're not living out your destiny, right? Your mission, your path, right? You're living someone else's life rather than forging your own. And the amount of, or the lack of fulfillment that you'll feel from doing that, and it'll be disgusting. I've gone through this in my life, trying to copy the people that came before me. I'm like, oh, they did this exact thing in this industry, and that's how they became successful. I'm going to try doing that too. It doesn't work, guys. You burn out because you're like, man, I'm not doing what I want to do. I'm literally just copying this guy because I like the results that he got. But maybe, just maybe, his timing and a lot of other factors lined up to make that opportunity work for him in a way that it won't work the same for you. right? You can't dismiss the importance of timing in achieving success. If you're in the right place at the right time, we're talking about entrepreneurship right here. If you're in the right place at the right time with the right idea, and all of those three things align, that's how you create a catapult of success. That's what happened with so many guys, right? Bill Gates, Zuckerberg, Steve Jobs, Elon, right? It's timing too. They were the early birds. They got there fast, right? Sergey Brin, right? All of these guys, all of these incredible founders, it was timing. Bezos. So you got to figure out, okay, what is the opportunity right now? What is the opportunity right now? Not what did Steve Jobs build, not what is Elon Musk doing right now. It's what's the opportunity today? What is emerging right now? What's on the scene? If something is being widely talked about already, you're too late to the game, right? A lot of people are like, oh, AI is the next big thing. Guys, it's already here. It's already here, okay? And Google dominates the whole market and OpenAI, okay? They dominate the whole thing, and you're too late, right? Because it's talked about too much. If you were talking 3-4 years ago, 5 years ago, it would be a different story. You could have been a little earlier to the game, but guys, some new fields, new industries will emerge, right? We haven't completely exhausted the capabilities of human beings and every business model and every creation, right? Things are yet to be invented. So what will those things be? And what will be the next big ones? And that's what I'm constantly searching for. Because as much as people tell me, just start I am doing beginner business type of things, just doing, service-based stuff for local businesses. And that's cool, right? Marketing for them. But that's not the vision, guys. Like, I may be, a dreamer, but I think that you have to risk being a little crazy and risk failing and risk looking stupid. And I think you also have to be a little crazy and a little obsessed, which I am. I'm just hyper obsessed with business. And if I still haven't found the exact domain which I will create something big in yet, but I know I'm getting there. And all I can do in the meantime is just learn and grow and get better every single day. So if you're in that position and you're frustrated, you're like, man, I haven't found what my life's mission is yet. Maybe you're like me and you're certain that you want to be an entrepreneur. I'm certain of that. Like, there's no way. The idea of working for someone is, it really aggravates me, and I won't work for someone. I will not do that. I'm lifelong in the game of entrepreneurship. Lifelong game. I'm not going to go work for myself. And then I was talking to someone recently about, not going to college and all this stuff. And they were like, all the people, it was someone who was casting judgment. They're like, the people that I know didn't go to college, they regret it, right? And a lot of people have said this to me. They're like, the people that I know who went to college, they have regrets about it. And I'm like, so the people who didn't go to college and decided to be entrepreneurs are looking for jobs now? It sounds to me like they just gave up. Right? And she was emphasizing, just to make clear, that they were entrepreneurs, right? And they didn't go to school for that reason. I'm like, it sounds like they just gave up. Because there's infinite money out there. There's infinite money out there, and there's always new ways for you to succeed on your own. You don't need to be employed by someone to make money. And I will never give up. I'll never give up. I'm too relentless. I'm just constantly pushing forward at max speed. So, Yeah, guys, I think that studying the people that came before you, and like I said, looking at the how, not the what, and then looking at today's opportunity, right? Studying the past, but also understanding what's happening today, right? What are the trends? What are the emerging industries? What's changing in this world? What problem can I solve that hasn't been solved yet? And how can I not be a commodity business, right? Which is what I'm doing right now, which is fine. I'm in the beginning journey, and I will pivot and I will change throughout my life. I'm not going to be like one business my whole life. Like, no, I'm going to reinvent myself and follow wherever life takes me and jump on trends early so that I can capitalize on them, right? It's better than being stuck in one thing your whole life. And just understanding that great things take time. That's another lesson I learned from all of these guys who I've studied, right? The guys who actually achieve the maximum level of success in life, the guys who are all at the top, guys, they're not 20 years old. They're not 21 years old. They're not 25 years old. They're not 30 years old, right? Look, there are rare cases like a Zuckerberg, literally the one case I can think of, and then founder of Gymshark as well, Francis. They became billionaires by 30 years old, which is remarkable. It's remarkable. And you can too. You can too, but you have to create something. And you have to be willing to grind so hard, right? You have to grind yourself into a fine powder, as David Goggins puts it, to get there. That's what I've noticed, at least with all these guys. And guys, a lot of people will say, you talk like you're already successful. Stop preaching and you haven't done anything. First of all, you don't know me. You don't know what I've dealt with. You don't know what I've achieved. You don't know what I've overcome. That's first of all, a lot of people who say that. If you follow me every video, you know a lot about me. So people will say that, and I don't mind them saying it, right? There will always be people hating. But I've learned all these lessons from these guys, and I'm imparting them on you, and I embody them. I embody them. This is the one thing I want you to take away. If there was one thing from this video, it's this. You have to become the guy before you are the guy. I want that to sink in with you. You have to become the person you want to be before you are the person you want to be. You need to embody that person. Say, I am him already. I am a millionaire. It's just a matter of time. And remind yourself of that constantly, right? It's a mindset. That's why they talk about millionaire mindset and all this stuff. It's because you literally have to brainwash yourself into thinking that you're going to be successful. To the point where you're not thinking you're going to be successful anymore. You know you're going to be successful. And I know that for a fact in my life. You can call it arrogance, you can call it whatever you want. But I just know it for a fact. And I won't apologize to no one for that. I want to thank you guys for watching today's video. Click the first link in the description, the Discipline Institutes, where young men come together to build better habits, to be part of a community where we're constantly motivating and inspiring each other and pushing each other to become better. I want you to be in there. I want you to be in there, truly, brother. So hit that first link, join the group, introduce yourself. I look forward to seeing you inside. This is Blaze Asayan signing off. I'll talk to you in the next video. Bye.